The phrase, "she found me passed out on the stairs," means that someone, in this case she, discovered you unconscious or asleep on a staircase. Passed out usually refers to losing consciousness due to exhaustion, illness, alcohol, or some other cause. It suggests that the person was not aware of what was happening when they were found. When you say passed out, it means you lost consciousness, often unexpectedly, and the phrase, "on the stairs," tells where this happened. It could be used in a situation where someone had fainted, fallen asleep, or collapsed, and someone else found them in that state. You're talking to a friend about an embarrassing night after drinking too much.
I drank way too much last night. And the next thing I know, she found me passed out on the stairs. I don't even remember how I got there.
You're explaining to a doctor what happened after you felt dizzy and fainted.
Can you tell me what happened before you lost consciousness?
I started feeling really lightheaded, and then everything went black. Next thing I know, she found me passed out on the stairs.
In both examples, the phrase emphasizes that the person was unconscious and unaware of what was going on until they were found by someone else, highlighting a moment of vulnerability. The phrase, "we've broken up," means that a romantic relationship has ended. It's used when two people who were dating or in a relationship have decided to part ways and no longer be together as a couple. When someone says, "we've broken up," it's a simple and direct way to explain that their relationship with their partner is over. This phrase is usually used when both people have agreed to end the relationship, although it can also be said by one person when they've ended things. You're telling a friend about your recent breakup.
We've broken up. It was a mutual decision, but it still hurts.
You're explaining to a coworker why you seem a little off lately.
You seem a bit down today? Is everything okay?
Actually, not really. We've broken up and I'm just trying to process it all.
In these examples, "we've broken up" is used to explain the end of a romantic relationship. It's often followed by more details about how the person is feeling or why the breakup happened, but the phrase itself is straightforward and clear. The phrase, "we'd really gone our separate ways," means that two people who were once close, either in a romantic relationship, friendship, or partnership, have gradually drifted apart. It suggests that their lives, interests, or paths have taken different directions, and they are no longer as connected as they once were. When you say, "we'd really gone our separate ways," you're reflecting on how you and someone else, over time, have moved in different directions in life. This phrase is often used when looking back on how a relationship, romantic or otherwise, has faded or changed, not necessarily due to a dramatic event, but because of natural life circumstances. You're explaining why you don't talk much with an old friend anymore.
We used to be so close in college, but after graduation, we'd really gone our separate ways. Now, we hardly speak.
You're talking about a past romantic relationship that ended over time.
What happened with you and Jessica? I thought you two were inseparable.
Yeah, we were, but over the years we'd really gone our separate ways. She moved to the city and I stayed here. Life just pulled us apart. In these examples, "we'd really gone our separate ways" expresses that the connection between two people faded naturally over time, and their lives have moved in different directions. It emphasizes a sense of gradual distancing rather than an abrupt end. The phrase, "I had probably messed up this girl's life enough," means that the speaker feels responsible for negatively impacting a girl's life, likely through their actions or decisions. It implies regret and a realization that their involvement has caused some harm or problems for her. When someone says, "I had probably messed up this girl's life enough," they are acknowledging that they've caused difficulties or complications in this person's life, and they feel guilty about it. The phrase suggests that the speaker is reflecting on the damage they may have caused and feels it's time to step away or stop further harm. A person is talking about ending a relationship because they feel like they've caused more harm than good.
After everything that happened between us, I realized I had probably messed up this girl's life enough. It was time to walk away and let her find peace.
You're having a conversation with a friend about a past relationship and why you ended things.
Why did you decide to break up with her? It seemed like you two were working things out.
I don't know, man. I just felt like I had probably messed up this girl's life enough. She deserved better, and I wasn't helping.
In these examples, the phrase shows a deep sense of guilt or regret, as the speaker feels that their actions have negatively influenced the girl's life, and they believe that stepping away is the best thing to do to stop causing more damage. The phrase, "I just need to stay away," means that the speaker feels they should avoid a particular person, situation, or place. It suggests that being around whatever they are referring to is not good for them, whether emotionally, mentally, or even physically. When someone says, "I just need to stay away," they are acknowledging that being involved or present in that situation or relationship is harmful or uncomfortable, and the best solution is to remove themselves from it. It's a way of setting a boundary for their own well-being. A person is talking about a toxic relationship and realizing they need to avoid further involvement.
Every time I get close to him, things just get worse. I just need to stay away for my own peace of mind.
You're discussing a stressful environment at work with a friend, and you've realized that being in that space isn't healthy for you.
Are you going to that meeting with the team tomorrow?
No, I just need to stay away from all that drama. It's too much stress for me right now.
In these examples, the phrase shows that the speaker understands the need to distance themselves for their own well-being, whether it's about avoiding people, places, or situations that have a negative impact on them. It emphasizes taking responsibility for one's own emotional or mental health. The phrase, "you ultimately end up reaching out to her," means that in the end, after some time or thought, you decide to contact or communicate with her. The word ultimately suggests that this decision happened after considering other options or letting some time pass. Reaching out is a casual way of saying you try to connect with someone, often for emotional support, to check in, or to discuss something important. When someone says, "you ultimately end up reaching out to her," it means that, despite any initial hesitation or other possibilities, you decided to make contact with her. This could be for many reasons, such as resolving a conflict, reconnecting, or seeking advice. You're discussing a falling out with a friend, but after thinking it over, you decide to reach out to her to try to fix things.
After our argument, I wasn't sure if I should say anything, but after a few days, I ultimately ended up reaching out to her to apologize.
Two people are talking about someone who hasn't been in touch for a while, and one person decides they need to take the initiative and contact her.
I haven't heard from Sarah in a while. Do you think she's okay?
Yeah, I was thinking about her too. I might just leave it for now, but I'll probably end up reaching out to her by the weekend.
In these examples, ultimately end up reaching out shows that contacting someone was not the immediate choice, but happened after some thought, possibly because it felt necessary or the right thing to do. It highlights the importance of connection, especially in situations that require communication. The phrase, "she called me back the next day," is used when someone is describing a situation where they received a phone call in return, but not immediately. It happened the following day. In this context, "called me back" means the person is returning a call after a missed call or message, and the next day specifies that the response happened a day later. When you say, "she called me back the next day," you're explaining that after you initially tried to reach her or left a message, she responded by calling you the following day. It's a common way to describe how communication happened, especially when there's a delay. You leave a voicemail for a friend, and she doesn't respond right away but calls you the next day to continue the conversation.
I called Sarah to ask her about the weekend plans, but she was busy. She called me back the next day, and we figured everything out.
Two people are talking about someone they were trying to get in touch with, and one of them finally gets a response. Did you ever hear back from Emma about the project?
Yeah, she called me back the next day and said she was in a meeting when I tried to reach her.
In these examples, "she called me back the next day" explains that there was a delay in the return call, and the next day's timing gives a sense of when the conversation continued. It's a simple way of explaining how people reconnect, often after missed calls or busy schedules. The phrase, I have a stable life, means that your life is steady, predictable, and secure. It suggests that things like your job, relationships, finances, and general well-being are in a good place and not chaotic or uncertain. People often use this phrase when they feel at peace with their situation and are not facing major ups and downs. When someone says, I have a stable life, they're highlighting the fact that their life is balanced and consistent. It could mean they have a secure job, strong relationships, good health, or just a general sense of calmness and order. It's the opposite of a life that feels turbulent or unstable. Someone is explaining to a friend why they're happy and not looking to make major changes in their life.
After years of moving around and job hunting, I finally have a stable life. My job is secure and I've settled down in a nice neighborhood.
Two people are discussing their personal situations, and one of them shares how their life is going smoothly.
How have things been with you? Still busy with work?
Actually, things have calmed down a lot. I have a stable life now, my work is manageable, and I've got a good routine going.
In these examples, I have a stable life reflects a sense of contentment and security. It's a way to express that someone is in a comfortable place, without major disruptions or uncertainties affecting their daily life. The phrase, I was just totally heartbroken, means that someone was deeply sad and emotionally hurt. It's used to describe a moment when a person feels devastated, often due to a breakup, loss, or some kind of emotional pain. Being heartbroken suggests that the sadness is intense, and it feels as if your heart has been figuratively broken. When someone says, I was just totally heartbroken, they are expressing extreme emotional pain. This could be from a romantic relationship ending, losing someone important, or facing a major disappointment. It emphasizes how overwhelming and consuming their sadness was at that moment. Someone is talking to a friend about a breakup they went through recently.
When we broke up, I was just totally heartbroken. I couldn't believe it was over. I didn't know what to do with myself.
Two friends are discussing how one of them felt after losing an opportunity they really wanted.
I heard you didn't get the job. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, I was just totally heartbroken. I really thought that was my chance. It felt like everything I'd worked for was falling apart.
In both examples, I was just totally heartbroken conveys a deep, personal sadness. It shows that whatever happened left the person feeling emotionally crushed, highlighting the intensity of their feelings. The phrase, I really had trouble meeting other people, means that someone found it difficult to connect or socialize with others. This could be because of shyness, lack of confidence, or being in a new environment. It suggests that making new friends or interacting with others wasn't easy for them. When someone says, I really had trouble meeting other people, they're admitting that they struggled with social interactions. This could happen when moving to a new place, starting a new job, or just generally having a hard time making new connections. Someone is talking to a friend about moving to a new city.
When I first moved here, I really had trouble meeting other people. I didn't know anyone, and it felt awkward starting conversations.
Two friends are discussing their experiences in college.
How was your first year at college?
Honestly, I really had trouble meeting other people at first. Everyone seemed to already have their own group of friends, and I didn't know where to start.
In both examples, the phrase, I really had trouble meeting other people, shows that the speaker found it challenging to engage with others socially. It conveys a sense of discomfort or difficulty in creating new relationships.